Let your body settle now. Your shoulders. Notice how high they have drifted through the long day, climbing toward your ears without your ever asking them to. Let them lower, slowly. The way a bundle of gathered stems, carried in tired arms, is at last laid gently down. Your hands, wherever they rest tonight, open at your sides or folded upon the blanket, they are holding nothing now. No pestle, no jar, no green thing crushed between the fingers. Let them grow heavy and warm. Your jaw, loosen it, the smallest softening at the hinge. Let your tongue lie low and quiet, and let your face grow easy. Your feet, heavy, still. A gentle warmth has gathered there beneath the blanket, like the last heat of an evening hearth. And the blanket along the whole length of you, its weight is kind. It already knows your shape. You are already here, and there is nowhere else to be. There is nothing you need to solve tonight. Nothing to plan, nothing to remember. The day's work has been carried as far as it needs to go. Tomorrow can hold the rest. And as you breathe, the breath comes in slow, green-scented, and out even slower. You are in a quiet corner of a great walled monastery in the gentle hills of Europe in the year around 1250. The evening bell has long since rung, and the others have gone to their cells. You are the herbalist here, the one who keeps the physic garden and the drying room, who knows which leaf cools a fever and which root brings sleep. You wear a long, undyed woolen gown and a plain apron stained faintly green. The day's gathering is finished. Now there is only the slow work of letting everything settle. You stand a while in the herbarium, the long, low room where the herbs are kept, as the last light leaves through the deep window. The walls are rough stone, the floor-worn flagstones swept clean. Along every beam overhead hang the bundles of drying herbs, tied at the stalk and turned downward, gathered through the long summer. The room holds their scent, dry and sweet and faintly bitter, the smell of sun-warmed meadows. There is little else here. A long oak table scrubbed pale, a row of earthen jars, a mortar in its pestle, and it is enough. You draw a slow breath of it all. Lavender somewhere, sharp and clean. Beneath it, the warm hay smell of dried chamomile, and under everything the deeper note of rosemary, woody and green. You rest your palm flat upon the cool, scrubbed wood and let the dusk come down. No candle yet, just the gray light softening, the hanging herbs growing dim. There is no quickness anywhere in this work. There never has been. A garden is grown slowly, a remedy made slowly, or not at all. You walk the length of the room beneath the drying beams and reach up to touch the bundles where they hang. Here is the lavender, hung in narrow gray-green sheaves, the small flowers gone papery and dry. You roll ahead of it between finger and thumb, and the scent rises at once, clean and sweet. The herb you steep to quiet a restless mind and bring an easy sleep. Beside it, the chamomile, its tiny dried flowers like little suns gone pale, kept for a gentle tea that soothes before rest. And further along the bunched stalks of sage, broad gray leaves soft as felt, good for a sore throat through winter. You reach the rosemary last, woody and stiff, its needle leaves still holding their deep resin scent, the herb of clear thought and good remembering. You press a sprig and breathe it in. Each plant was cut at its proper hour and hung head down, and now they wait, patient in the dark. You stand beneath them all, the whole summer gathered overhead. There is nothing to do but let them dry. When the light has gone soft, you turn to the table where the day's tools lie and begin to set each one in its place. The mortar first, a heavy bowl of smooth gray stone, worn pale within from years of grinding. And its pestle, blunt and rounded, dark and shining where your hand has held it. You wipe the bowl clean and set the pestle to rest. Then the small iron knife you use to chop the green stems, and the horn spoons for measuring, and the fine sieve of horsehair for straining the steeped herbs. You clean them slowly, one and then the next, and there is a quiet pleasure in the order of it. The balance last, the small set of brass scales for weighing out a dose, light as a feather in the hand. You fold its pans together and set it on the shelf, and the table is clear now, pale and waiting for the morning. You do not hurry the pudding away. Each tool has served well today, and you let your hand rest a moment on each. Simply the tools and the slow falling of the dark. There is one small task still, and you draw the mortar near and take up a little of the dried herbs. A pinch of lavender, a measure of dried chamomile, a little of the valerian root, the herb the old books call deep and quiet rest. You let them fall together into the stone bowl. You take up the pestle and begin to grind, slow and round and even. There is no force in it. You let the weight of the stone do the work, turning, and the dried herbs give way beneath it. The scent rises warm and sweet and sleepy. The sound of it is low and steady, the soft grate of stone on stone, round and round, slow as breathing. You could grind this herb forever, it seems, in this small circle of quiet. There is nothing you need to force here, nothing to hurry. It doesn't matter how long it takes. The herbs give up their strength in their own slow time, and you have only to turn the stone. You set the ground herbs aside and turn to the shelf where the keeping jars stand in a quiet row. Here is the honey in its broad earthen crock, thick and gold and slow. It is the great preserver, the sweetener that draws the strength from a bitter herb and keeps it safe through winter. You dip a wooden spoon and watch the long gold thread of it pour back into the crock. Beside the honey stand the tinctures, the small dark flasks where herbs lie steeping in spirit and in wine, drawing out their virtue through the long weeks. You tilt one gently to the failing light, and the liquid moves slow and amber. You set it back among the others. And here the little pots of salve, herbs simmered soft in beeswax and clean oil, comfrey for the knitting of a bruise, yarrow for a small cut. You press the wax of one with your thumb, smooth and firm, and it holds. You stand quietly with one hand on the shelf, just honey and herb and wax, keeping their slow goodness in the dark. It is finished, and you let it be. The dark has come down fully now, and you go to the corner of the table and light a candle. It is a plain candle of pale beeswax, sweet-smelling, set in a holder of gray pewter. You touch a small flame to the wick, and it catches and steadies, no bigger than a thumbnail, and a soft gold light spreads across the scrubbed wood. The flame leans and rights itself, breathing in the still air. It throws a low, warm glow across the mortar and the jars, the gold crock of honey, and up into the hanging herbs above. The shadows it makes are soft and slow. You sit beside it a while and watch it burn. There is no work left to do by its light. You simply keep it company and feel how the room has grown gentle and golden around the flame. There is nothing you need to do tonight. Nothing to plan, nothing to hold, nothing to remember. Just the candle and the warm green scent and the slow leaning of the flame. You take up the candle and step through the low door into the physic garden, into the cool dark. The night air is soft and green after the close warm room, dewfall already gathering on the leaves. The garden lies in its neat small beds, edged with low stone and clipped box. You walk the path slow, the candle casting its circle of gold before you. You pass the bed of sage, and the gray clumps of lavender heavy with the day's last warmth, and the low spreading thyme that gives up its scent as your hem brushes over it. Somewhere a late bee, drowsy and slow, murmurs once and then is still. The fountain at the garden's heart trickles soft and even water over stone. You stand in the middle of it all and let the night move gently around you. Above the dark walls, the sky has filled with stars, cool and clear and very far. The herbs breathe their scents into the dark, lavender, rosemary, the green of growing things. There is nothing more to gather tonight. The garden sleeps in its beds, dew cool and quiet, growing slow in the dark the way it always has. You breathe the green night air, slow and slower, and feel how quiet the body has grown. You turn back from the garden and step again into the herbarium, and draw the low door softly shut against the cool air. Within, the room is warmer, holding the day's scents close, lavender and beeswax, and the sweet dark gold of honey, and beneath it all the deep green of the drying herbs. You move along the table once more and let your hand pass over the things you have set to rest. You think, slowly and without weight, of the mornings still to come, of new leaves to gather while the dew still holds, of tinctures to be strained when their weeks are done. But that is far ahead. Tonight the work is finished. You carry the candle to the small, low cot in the corner where you take your rest. You lean to the flame and breathe it gently out, and the room sinks soft into the dark. The hanging herbs a deeper shadow among the shadows. There is nothing left undone. The tools are clean, the herbs are hung, the jars are sealed, the garden sleeps. You lie down at last and draw the rough, warm blanket over you and let the long day go. You lie still in the dark of the herbarium and let your whole weight sink down into the cot, into the warmth, into the deep quiet. The room breathes its soft green scent around you, lavender and chamomile, and the faint sweet wax of the spent candle. Somewhere far off a single bell sounds once, low and round, and fades, and then there is only the small trickle of the fountain beyond the door, water over stone, water over stone. The hanging herbs sway the very smallest amount in the still air, turning slow on their cords, holding the whole long summer in the dark above you. The honey keeps its gold in the crock. The tinctures steep their slow virtue in the glass, and all of it rests the way you are resting now. There is nothing left undone, nothing to plan, nothing to remember. The garden is tended, the herbs are dried, the jars are filled, the candle is out, and so are you. Your breath comes slow now, and slower. The warmth has gathered all through you, from your heavy feet to your soft and easy face. The herbs breathe their sleepy scent into the dark, and the stars stand quiet over the dewy garden. Let your shoulders lower one last time. Let your hands rest, holding nothing. Let the breath come in slow, and out even slower. There is only the warmth and the quiet and the green scent of the herbs. Rest now. Sleep now. There is nothing else. Only the night, the warmth, and the long, slow breath carrying you down.